Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, yes indeedy, Undercovers. Undercover brothers, right? We're going to talk about people that go undercover, these undercover vatos that go to disrupt one's movements. They go to disrupt one's life. Sasuke, they go to disrupt one's mentality, right? The whole man thing. I mean, menudo style in a direct fashion. We're going to get straight to it. We're going to talk about it. How these undercovers fly under the radar. You can't catch them. You don't know what's really going on, right? So trip out. I'm going to tell you a couple stories. The first story I'm going to tell you, indubitably, this shit happened. It's real. So I remember when it happened, I was like, what happened? You know what I mean? Don't trip. I'm not. It's not me. But I was tripping because it happened with one of my uncles. So I remember back in, I would think it was, had to be the early 80s. I was a young kid, mid 80s. I was very young. I remember my uncle living out of Turlock, California, had a couple homeboys, you know, and I used to always want to be like them. I used to always go try to hang around, kick back with them in the room and just do the thing. You know what I mean? Basically admiring whatever the fuck they were doing. I was trying to do the same exact thing that same exact day, right? If I see them doing that, orale, who's that? Sonny, right? I was trying to copy, being a copycat. Now at the same time, what you had to understand was they weren't really tripping off what I was doing. But I was being aware and seeing everything that was going on around me, seeing everything that they were doing. So I think I was catching on a little bit quicker than they were. Well, I remember all of a sudden, man, my uncle had these same old homeboys, and this white dude pops up out of nowhere. He's their homeboy, right? He had the fade, man, little lines in his hair like Vanilla Ice. You know, at that time, he was just doing his thing. So I wasn't really tripping, okay? And, of course, he brings him from high school. It's one of his homeboys. And at the same time, man, my uncle at that time saw a little yes guy, right? He was doing his little thing on the unders, a little 8 here, a little 8 there. Nothing too major, but he was doing his thing. And this white guy pops into the mix. And I mean, I seen things that I can't even explain. These guys done had women in the room. These guys were kicking back, hitting motels, doing extracurricular activities. I remember this white guy had a clean-ass mini truck sitting on gold Dayton's, man. He thought he was the shit. He used to come bumping Too Short. These are the tales, the freaky tales. I mean, just blended right in. You know, like a regular white dude that kicked it with Chicanos his whole life. So I wasn't tripping. He became real familiar with the family. He was real cool. He used to sleep over there at my tío's house all the time. Just one of the regular homeboys. And this went on for a period of about 6 months to a year. I remember seeing him every weekend all the time. They became taitas. This dude was just there. He was a fix. He was like a fucking cockroach on the floor. He was there. Don't step on him. Doing his thing. Now, what happened was, the whole time, Vivato was watching. He was searching. He was searching everywhere. He was a plant. He was implanted there to watch my uncle to hopefully get to the Vato who's really doing big things, right? None of us knew this. You wouldn't even know it. I mean, I didn't see the Vato do things that he wasn't supposed to do as an undercover, but he indulged. I guess when they're undercovers, man, they can get away and do whatever they want. Whatever it takes to play that role. Right now, I'm sure there's certain boundaries and certain steps they can't overstep. So the Vato was overstepping everything, right? He was doing his thing. And I remember the day it all came about, there's phone calls going on, the family's frantic. What the hell's going on? What happened, right? They come banging on my grandmother's door, and sure enough, what happens? Boom! Here's this guy with the badge, 21 Jump Street. True story. I couldn't believe it, even as a little kid. I wasn't in trouble because I didn't do nothing. I didn't indulge in the reindeer games, right? I was like poor Rudolph that didn't get to enjoy the reindeer games. I was just sitting there like, God, I couldn't believe it. But I already, as a young kid, I already kind of knew what was going on, but at the same time, it was like a movie in slow motion. Like, can you believe some shit like this? I'm looking at the homeboy that wasn't really there, talking to myself, like, can you believe this shit? It was going down. This is what happens. You just never know who ingrains themselves into your life. And this guy ingrained himself definitely into my uncle's life. Ended up busting. Wasn't even no big old bust. That's what I couldn't believe. I was like, man, they wasted taxpayers' money on this shit. As I got older, I said this. As a youngster, I was just like, damn, I guess he ain't going to shoot me that Nintendo he promised, right? It was all bad, you know. That's what undercover is. Now, there's plenty of them that happen, and a lot of them happen in the barrios, in the hoods, in the streets. Okay, what happens is, all of a sudden, someone will pop up out of nowhere, or someone will get out of prison or get out of county jail. You think he's the homie, like, man, that's the homie. Used to be my homie. Now you act like you don't know me, right? He's the homie. You've known him since you were a kid. Everything is all good in the hood, but you don't know what situation or what predicament he found himself caught up in when he was locked up. right? And how he gets out with a different attitude. He's just trying to say Viscachetes, right? He's not trying to get caught up and go back for all day, yo, to make that mayo. Right now, he's not doing all that. That's what's not going to happen. So what's going to happen is he's going to ingrain himself into what you got going on in your everyday life and any type of activity that you got going on that you can't speak on. He's going to tell him, right? He's going to let him know. He's going to let everybody know. Now, I'm not telling this story, man, to put people on Front Street or say one person did this or someone did that. I'm just saying traditionally, man, these are how the undercovers fly under the radar. This is what they do. And they bring down big organizations. They bring down big groups, segments. They bring down barrios, hoods, everybody. Every different group segment has someone within them, man, that's going to expose their game, right? And these cops, man, they're not playing. They're good. So let's get Donnie Brasco. They put in one on Donnie Brasco. Let's take that for instance. Let's talk about that, right? As you can see, that was the biggest thing that ever happened in Cosa Nostra history. Okay, they put Donnie Brasco. They put a cop, and he actually almost became a made man within the mob. Okay, now imagine that. He was able to ingrain, confuse, disorientate, do everything that he had to do, manipulate to get right there in that upper echelon, to almost becoming a made man in one of the most pristine group segments of all time. But these guys are getting better and better and better at milking the situation around them and doing what they have to do to make it necessary to get involved and find out what's going on. Okay, now the thing that happened right there, that was old school shit. It happened. That's a fact, right? And like I said, to see some of the things that that individual was indulging on, you would think, no, there's no way. So he's not allowed. Fuck that. They do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? So it's my party and I'll cry if I want. They do whatever the fuck they want and no one can stop them. That's just it, plain and simple, period. Okay, and it's happening right now. It happens in everyday life. You know, in everyday life, there's always something going on around you. You just can't call it like an alcoholic. You know what I mean? You got to stay aware. You got to be up to par. It might catch you for a little while, but eventually you're going to be like, bang, bang, there it is. Now I can see clearly now. Órale, chich. Hey, what is this shit, man? You know what I mean? You got to be able to see eventually. One slip. It only takes one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Then you get the upper hand. Then you get the upper hand because now you know. You know? And that's just how it goes. That's part of the game. Now, with that being said, I think there's a way to prevent this shit? Charlie, man. You know, you can keep a couple good taitas around you, a couple good motherfuckers that you've known since day one. And that's it. But that gets boring. You know what I mean? You want to go out there and party. You know what I mean? You want to go out there and have fun and meet new people. But meeting new people can get you caught up in a situation you don't want to get caught up in. It's best to stick to those day oneers and stick to the people that you know the best. Because what happens is people get ingrained into your everyday life. People will come in and say, you don't know what their agenda and what their intentions are for you. You know, smiling faces, you know, you just don't know. And in my uncle's instance, you see what happened to him. So Scawato was like, hey, bail me out. Charlie, I can't do nothing because I'm only an 8-year-old kid. Fuck it, tell grandma. She says she can't do nothing either. She's making frijoles. Tell your tío. No, he's in the bag like this. Tío Tupac is on a good one. You just don't know, man. And who's gonna help? Who can you run to? Who's gonna help you? Nobody. Because they're gonna say, look, Bob, you should have seen that one coming. That's on you. That's what happens in life. Okay? But it's happening to everybody. Does it make you susceptible for it to happen again? Possibly. It could possibly happen again. Shit happens in life. It can possibly happen again. You know? No one knows what administration, what the law enforcement, what anyone's thinking at any given time. You know? Everyone is plotting and planning. Everyone's trying to get to that bolsita. That bag is the root of all evil. That bag is a bad thing. You know, or they're just trying to lock an innocent man up, or a vato that they feel is guilty of doing some frivolous activity. They're trying to lock him up. It is what it is, man. Who cares? At the end of the day, man, cops and robbers. Bang, bang. But I've seen plenty of things. You know, let me take jail, for instance. Okay, there was a vato that was in the oil. I remember I was in California Youth Authority. I was young. I think we were in Carl Holton. And they brought this white guy out of the oil. And he had been around there. He wasn't necessarily on our compa, but we had heard about him. You know, he was righteous, man. He he had a little bit of respect. No one was tripping off him. What had happened was he got caught up in the oil, and I guess a couple of his crime partners from his county or his town or whatever had got locked up, and the Placas seen him hanging around with these guys. Well, these guys were under suspicion for a murder that had happened a couple years back, right? That this guy didn't even really know nothing about. So this guy ends up getting into the oil, and they start playing mind trips with them. They start playing mind games with them. We're going to ship you here. We're going to ship you there. We're going to send you to Chad, YTS, where it's all bad, man. And he knows the white boys be having it bad in YA. You know, there wasn't very many of them. Which ones that were there were about their shit. They were strong. But there wasn't many of them, man. They pretty much got oppressed and pretty much got, you know, pushed up on. So this guy's kind of nervous. Like, fuck, man, I ain't trying to go. I'm from Shasta County. I'm trying to go down south. So whatever reasons they used, I wasn't the mosquito on the wall, I wasn't the roach on the ground. I can't call it like an alcoholic, but I will tell you that they used whatever tactics they needed to use to manipulate him and get in his mind frame, and trick him. And of course, him being susceptible to that, being weak-minded to that, he agreed. So I'll do whatever it takes, right? We know you will, right? So they brought him in and they basically said, look, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to make hardships for you. We're going to make it harder for you to do your time. You know, which is a cool thing. You know, putting someone in the corner, what do you expect him to do? Sasuke? You know what I mean? Not just sit there like a baboso, but he chose to sit there like a baboso and hear him out. They were like, what we need you to do is we need you to go back onto this yard, to this different building where these two guys are, the ones you're hanging around with in the school area, and start picking their brain. Sasuke, here, record that. Wire up, right? Illegal as a motherfucker, I would think, but I don't know. You know, who am I? I've never been put in that situation. But anyway, so this guy chose to do that. He chose to do this for one reason or another, and he actually went until it was a big thing. I remember when it happened. It was about 1995. He actually went on the yard in a facility and proceeded to record these guys' conversation that they were having. Of course, loose lips sink ships, but these guys were right there, bro, and they were fucking basically, you know, saying what happened. Somehow he was able to, you know, befriend them, get cool with them. Says, it's all good, bro. What you want? You want a sopa? Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you fucking twist that dude's head off? Oh, what do you mean? Yeah, I want a sopa, right? Yeah, nah, it's all good, bro. Hey, you want a bag of chips? Here, Sasuke, you want a Dorito? Hey, so it was you that shot him in the head, right? You know what I mean? However he asked the questions, however he did it and manipulated, he got the answers that they wanted and that he wanted to get from them. That made it necessary for him to stay put and not have to go through those hardships. And I remember that day, man, it was a trip because I had never seen it before happen. It was like the SWAT team raided the school area and snatched these guys out of the school area and rearrested them for murder. And that was it. That was the last time we seen them. And I remember the buzzing cousin was going around the whole institution. We were all talking about it like, damn, what happened? We never seen that before. These guys must have fucking killed the president or something. What the, you know what I mean? They must have did something major for the SWAT team to come get them. And what it was just an intricate plot and plan by administration to ingrain themselves, put a mole in there to give these guys up. And that's exactly what he did. Okay? And who was to know that would ever happen? No one knows, does one? That's what I'm saying, man. These undercovers fly under the radar and you just don't know. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say as a civilian, as a citizen, the shit happens, man. That's part of the game. Can't hate on it. You know, taxpayers are paying taxes for exactly that, to keep the streets safe, so they say. Okay, or they think that's what's happening with the money. So I was scared there's actually a bunch of black guys playing poker. I'm all in. I don't give a fuck. It's their money anyways. Chip me up, right? Rebuy. This is what they're doing. Okay? But it's happening. It's happening, man. Like I said, every group segment, every group faction goes through these hardships. You know, there be homeboys that you know since day one, man, since you were a kid, wearing diapers together. What are you wearing, Huggies? What are you wearing, Pampers? That's the same shit. Nah, mine no leak, right? And at the same time, man, later on in life, this could be the same guy that says, he did it. You're like, fuck, bro, why you do me like that? I thought you were my boy. You know what I mean? Orale, Donnie Brasco. It's all bad. It's all not good in the hood. You know, so you just take heed to the word and listen, man. I'm not saying fucking now watch everything your homeboys do. Nah, man. Enjoy life. Be fruitful. Go out there, hustle, man. Move fast with a purpose. Go out there and get it and work, right? Don't let that weigh you down. Don't let the intricacies of what other people are doing and their downfalls or their shortcomings, man, come into play in your life. Don't let it break you. So let's let it make you. You feel me? It is what it is. It be like that sometimes. At the end of the day, Sasuke, you can only do what you can do, no? You know what I mean? But watch out for the plastic plans, you know, the shiesty approaches. Buenos noches. You know what I mean? You got to just pay attention. Because it could be night-night. Everybody could go night-night. Trying to make you go night-night, right? For none other than a pinche snort of coca, chale, right? We don't get down like that. Carlos, come back. Nah, fuck Carlos. Let him go. Let him go. The polar bears are going to back his play, remember? So let's get turning on Fuck that, man. Don't bow down to the West Side Connection. Let's get the gangster, the killer, and the dope dealer. You feel me? Be all three. You can do it by yourself. That's getting the words of Nipsey Hussle, strive, homie. Strive. You feel me? That's how you get down. Don't worry about what's going on, but be aware of what's going on around you. Take heed to the word and listen. But it happens. So I just wanted to drop this video about the Undercover brothers, right? And what could be going on in everyday life and what goes on with these different group organizations. Now, of course, if you're out there functioning, man, if you're a part of something, you're supposed to be aware anyways. You're up to par, bro. This is what's laced into you. This is what it's instilled in your mind and indoctrinated in your mind, man, to always stay aware of your surroundings, When you start to forget that and you start to slip up, man, you dust yourself off and try again. You know what I mean? And get back on it. Get back on that bull rider. Who said I was a bull rider? I don't know. That's just a metaphor. This is what you have to do in life. Okay? Anyways, with that being said, just stay aware, people, man. I'm not here to harass you or mess you up. I'm here to bless you and give you game. To the best of my abilities and to the best of my knowledge. I'm not here to hate on anyone. I'm not here to shit on anyone's parade. I'm not here to defecate on other channels. I'm not here to do any of that. What I'm here to say is, man, we're going to make it moves together, canalitos and canalitas. That's all we're going to do, man. For the Raza United, the black and brown, that's what we're going to do. But you're fake, Gunner, am I? Only one knows, does one. You never know, But at the end of the day, I promise you this, man. I'm giving you real game by a real person. That's a fact, Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that at the end of the day, man, you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, you're supposed to dip and dash and slide and glide and do what you have to do, man, with a whole lot of energy to make it happen. Okay? Don't be lazy. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't be sitting on your ass expecting things to come to you, man. Go out there and get it. You know what I mean? Get it. Go out there and get that paper. Saca la bolsita? Well, go sacala. You know what I mean? Go grab it. Make it have it. Make it a habit to go out there and really do something. And watch out for those around you because they could be flying undercover, under the radar, under the moon and through the sun. And that is the house we go. So let's get fuck. I don't know, something like that. Who gives a fuck, And if anyone tries to impede your progress on what you're doing, tell them no, no, no. You know what I mean? Just like Billy the Kid, you can go to hell, hell, hell. Don't even trip, man. It's all about you and yours and, man, what you do to proceed in life. Everyone has the same chances, the same opportunities, man, the same talents. It's about you grasping and going out there and getting it, and not letting them undercover motherfuckers that are flying under the radar get you and bring you down. Don't let no one get you down. I know I'm not because I got the upper hand. It's like I turned it on them. See what I'm saying? Move with you and groove with you at the same time. Bang, bang. It is what it is. Anyways, move fast with a purpose. Go out there and get it, man. If you like this spiel, like and subscribe. If you don't, you can hit the thumbs down. It's all good in the hood, man. I appreciate you either way. It's all love and prosperity, man. I got the propensity to go out there and get it, man. I hope you do too. Remember, it's all about your familia. Black and brown united. The raza stand up, man. I'm one of your guys', and I'm going to keep being one of your guys'. This is what it is. But don't hate. Congratulate. It's all good. We all can make it. Don't fake it. Just take it before the gun breaks it. You understand what I'm saying? Bang, bang. The gun.